This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, so they got it done, and we talked about it this week. I told you, do they have to sign X before the draft? Because, everything was quiet on the front, which is really good compared to last year. But I don't think it would have stayed quiet after the draft because you had paid all these people already, and he's sitting around going, where's my money, dude? So, and he deserves it, obviously, because he's a hell of a player. So they had to get this done, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I remember we talked about this a bunch. You asking me, hey, is it going to get done? Is it going to get traded? I was always confident it was going to get done, but it took a little longer than I believe everybody thought. But I think ultimately they made a deal that everybody had to give a little bit. And I think once they did the Tyreek Hill trades, it allowed them a little bit, it really changed the dynamic of how they went about this restructure. But if you see what they essentially did is they got him at $18 million a year average overall, but they also allowed him to be the new highest paid as far as new money. So you make them happy in that realm, but you're still in a medium where you want to be. And so I think that, overall everybody's happy, but this deal will add cap space overall because they were at about $11 million. X's deal was going to be about 12 or 13 on the cap, I believe, and that number should be lowered from what I understand the way it's structured. So they should end up having, probably somewhere from $15 to $20 million in cap space after this deal was filed and restructured.
So we can get greedy now and say J.C. Tretter's coming? Is that what you're saying?
J.C. Tretter is not going to be a Dolphin.
Okay. I'm just
drastic
asking.
Changes.
I had to ask the greedy Dolphin question because
I understand.
It's going to pop up. It's going to pop up on the chat board. Hey, so now that we got 15, 20 million, can we go get J.C. Tretter? Can you tell Jerry Rice to get, 40 years younger and come back? All these things are going to happen now. They're going to ask us for all of this. It's like, well, maybe now they can go after the Honey Badger, even though Chris Greer said no. Maybe he'll do it now. So, Cam, will they go after the Honey Badger now?
No, they're not going after the Honey Badger. I'm sorry.
By the way,
sorry to turn down. I will say, I know everybody always wants more, but they have had a really good offseason. And they've signed a lot of players. They've spent a lot of money.
It's like an A+, right? It's an A+.
I do think so. I mean, you haven't won any games yet, so I always have it with the caveat.
It has nothing to do with results. I'm saying,
right.
Did you address, you know the problems, I know the problems, everybody knows the problems. In your mind's eye, did they address the problem with absolutely. An A+?
Absolutely. This offseason was more successful in getting the type of players I believe they needed than I even would have realistically hoped. Getting a Tyreek Hill along with the Tyrann Mathieu. Teron Armstead. Now you got me thinking Matthew. Teron Armstead. So if you would have told me they got one of those guys as their marquee players to start off season, I would have said big win. Two of them, along with the Connor Williams and a couple of the running backs they got, a Cedric Wilson, some of these players, I think that this is a big win for them. They're a much better team. The AFC is a very tough division, but I think you can't sleep on the Dolphins, and the reason why is because of the offseason they had.
Yeah, no, I mean, wow, they've had now, dude. Listen, Chris Greer and company did their job. Okay, now the question is, did he do his second part of his job, which is, did he nail it with the coaching staff? Because obviously the front office got an enormous break that, as you and I know, the minority doesn't normally get to pick his second coach. So they got an awesome break that they get to pick their second coach. That's they nailed it in the offseason. Now it's up to Mike McDaniel and his staff to nail it, because that'll be the first time in a long time. Because I was just talking about this, Cam. I've been doing this is my 32nd year doing this, and I'm tired of arguing whether AJ Feely can play or Jay Fiedler, or if Wanstead can coach, or if Gase can coach, or if Tua can play, or if Flo can coach, or if Greer can draft, or if Ireland can draft, or if Spielman can draft. This has been my life for 32 years doing radio, and I'm kind of tired of it. And I said, I want to be where the Panthers fans are at right now and the Heat fans. They're not asking about their coaching or their front office. They're not even asking about their individual players. They're talking about the games themselves, the matchups, the psyche going into the game. Are they playing well? Are they struggling a little bit? They're actually talking about the games and the
Right.
matchup. That's what I want to get to, bro. I want to get past the politics, and I want to talk about the game, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think we're getting close to that. Like, I think that you're going to see a lot. Well, this offseason is going to be a dead period, but as we get into training camp, I think you're going to see a lot more conversation about what the Dolphins can do on the football field. And I'm really excited. We're not going to see much of it in the offseason program, but I'm really excited to see how this new scheme that everybody's been talking about with Mike McDaniel ends up working out with all these pieces, and seeing it in actuality. I think that's going to be the fun part of it. They've got the players, which is super fun, but how does Hill work in this offense? They've been dropping some Deebo Samuel references. He won't be used as a runner as much as Deebo, but he'll be used as a space player. How do defenders play Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? What does that do for Mike Gesicki? How do these new running backs fit in this zone scheme? We got Teron Armstead and Connor Williams likely as your left side of your offensive line. Who ends up winning that right tackle spot? How does Michael Dieter fare with his competition? There's a lot of offseason questions that I'd love to get the answers to, and I think it's going to be fun to talk about it with you on this show and really be able to report on this because this team is I think, in its best shape that it's been in a very long time.
Now, and let me tell you something. Again, I think the way they look, again, the macro view of their offseason, not the micro, and looking at each individual, it's kind of worked out in a way because they use their money for the things that are really important that they need, and their draft picks.
Right.
But then the draft picks that they have left are perfect for their needs also. If they want to get a middle linebacker, there's going to be middle linebackers there. If they want to get a defensive tackle, there's actually going to be a couple defensive tackles there.
Right.
If they want to get a running back, there's still going to be running backs there in the 3rd and 4th rounds.
Right.
If
Centers,
they really like somebody, they can pair one of their 4th and their 3rd and move up a little higher into the 3rd to get whatever need that they feel they have left over. So of the positions that are left, that's actually the strength of the draft.
Right.
And that's
the reason,
dude, even offensive linemen, if they want to add another offensive lineman in the 3rd or 4th rounds, there's, from what I'm told, there's going to be guys there also. So of needs, and middle linebackers, by the way, are found in the middle rounds all the freaking time. Linemen are, and so are linebackers. So in a way, the way they've structured the offseason, you don't get your tackles there. You don't get Tyreek Hill there. You don't, there's certain positions you're not going to fill there. You know what I mean? But they've allowed themselves to maybe fill the needs there also now.
Oh, and the reason why is if you look at Chris Grier, one thing that he has always been really good at, and some people get frustrated by it, but he understands positional value. And so when you talk about those things, talking about the draft in the middle rounds, the reason why you're going to have a middle linebacker or a center or a running back available in those particular areas is because there are lower positional values. So those typical players drop in the draft. Whereas you're signing money on a Teron Armstead, you weren't going to find a Teron Armstead with the 29th pick in the draft. You weren't going to find a Tyreek Hill with the 29th pick in the draft. So these are positions that you have to spend money on. And so very smart organizations understand positional value, but at the same token, that's why you're not going to see the Dolphins draft that running back that we've all wanted in the 1st or the 2nd round, because that's not how they view things. So right or wrong, they have a very strict positional value view of how to build a roster.
I'm with you there. When we look at this morning here, we've got some comments on the board. And so people are wondering, do you have a second job on Saturdays if you're working at Jackson's Ice Cream? Because there's some folks, they're asking for Sundays, and they're asking for sprinkles or no sprinkles. So and Jackson's, by the way, is, I don't know if you've, I know you've been in town only a few years. Have you been to Jackson's yet?
I have not. But I should have known when I wore this shirt that I was gonna get a little bit of flack. I appreciate it though. It's fun.
Oh wait, no, seriously, you haven't been to Jackson's?
No. Where's Jackson's?
Okay, well, there's 2 of them. There's one on Las Olas, and then there's one by Hollywood on US 1. Is it Hollywood, folks, or is it yeah, it's like Hollywood, isn't it? Jackson's ice cream.
Yeah.
It's like it's the monster of all
Right.
monsters. It's like
So if I wear this
homemade.
shirt, can I get a free ice cream?
I think they'll give you a free. I think they might put you on the other side of the counter if you show up with that shirt. You can
Yeah.
just, in fact, Cam, dude, you could probably just walk right through, go through the employee door. They won't even look at you at all, bro, and
Right.
just stand back there and just start dishing out ice cream, and that's it. And they won't even say a damn thing. So if Cam Wolfe is going to go to Jackson's, which you're now intrigued, right? You've got to go now. Right?
I gotta go. I gotta go now.
I'm telling you, take the wife, okay?
Yeah.
Go to Jackson's, and you're gonna go, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? How have I been here a few years and never gone? I promise you will go to Jackson's every once, because I know you like to, it looks great. So you're not gonna go to Jackson's all the time. But every once
I
in a
enjoy
while,
good ice cream every once in a while.
no, this is great ice cream. This is not good
Right.
ice cream. This is the best ice cream you're gonna have in South Florida. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Jackson's is
That's
bomb.
high expectations. That's high expectations, Big O.
It's higher expectations by the time you get there, dude.
I will tell you, and I told you this via
It's old
text.
style. By the way, it's old style. Like you walk
Okay.
in, everything's old style, fountain and
Gotcha.
everything, all that kind of
I
stuff.
vibe with that. I vibe
Love
with
it.
that.
Wood, everything. It's just so freaking awesome. It's
I will
classic.
tell you, the last time that I got a recommendation with you with the Fast Times of Richmond High, it did
Oh, but
not
that's
hit
a movie.
me.
No, it's a movie.
It did not hit me the way I anticipated it hitting me. Maybe it was a little
Food
older
is
than.
food, bro. Food is food.
But,
A great burger
okay.
was good in the 1950s, and it's going to be great in the 2020s. I mean, food is food. Great ice cream is great ice cream. A movie's different because sometimes it may not carry over for a younger generation. That's all. That's fine. It's understandable.
I'll definitely go to Jackson's. I'll definitely go to Jackson's and check out their ice cream.
Dania. It's Dania. Dania.
Okay, that's
Hollywood
not bad.
Dania. They're right there next to each other.
I'll go next time I go to the beach. I like to go to Dania Beach, Hollywood Beach. It's a little quieter for me, especially at Dania Beach, and it's like 15, 20 minutes from me. So
Dania.
I
Go to
will
one in
stop next
Dania.
time.
It is awesome, dude.
They have
Awesome.
milkshakes too?
Yeah, they have everything.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm at
everything. You can even eat there too. They have some
Right.
burgers and stuff. But Jackson's, I'm telling you, dude, they are the bomb. The bomb.
Okay.
Love
On
that
my
place.
list then.
And you got the shirt
Indeed.
already. You might as well go.
Got to.
All right. So wait a minute. Before I let you go, any shot at them adding anything else, you think?
I think
Or are
there's
they
always
done?
a shot. Like I could see them adding like some of these third tier free agents. I still think there's whether before the draft or after the draft, they add a veteran center in there to compete with Dieter. If they wait till after the draft, maybe they see if they can draft one. If not, then they'll probably sign one. I still think that they're going to end up adding a little bit more depth in their front seven. I think they need at least one or two more linebackers, whether it's a middle linebacker like you mentioned or another edge guy. To continue to compete there. So I think they'll add, but I think they're done their big splashes. So the three like I always said, the three names you always ask me about: Treader, Matthew, now Bobby Wagner's gone, so we got to figure out a new third name. But those two guys, they're not going to be Dolphins unless their price dramatically drops and you get them, way lower than they should be. So I don't anticipate that, but there's always going to be end up guys who sign 1 or 2 year deals whose market did not realize. And a lot of times they get a chance to make the team as a starter. And if they don't make it, they get cut like Matt Skura next year. So I'd look at that center position. I'll look at some of those linebacker spots as well as probably a position that they're going to look at before or after the draft as sort of a mid to lower tier free agent.
There you go. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolfe and catch him twice a week here, even on Saturday sometimes here on the Big O Radio Show with our KSDT CPA, Miami Dolphins and NFL reports.
And I want to give a shout out to KSDT. I actually am going to get my taxes done with them, so you guys should too.
There you go. I mean, dude, and again, one of the reasons why I also teamed up with them is because I'm a crypto guy and they have a crypto department. And it's not just like, I'll read up on crypto. No, they got 3 guys that all they do is crypto law. So make sure to protect you. And that's what KSDT does, protects you and your business. So make sure you call them. You got all the information there. 305-670-3370. Cam, have a great weekend, my brother, and please go to Jackson's. You're gonna love
You too,
it.
man. I already got the fit. I need to go right now.
You got it, baby. You good. Later.
All right.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.